Even for a split second, that can make a huge difference in terms of activation, keeping the spine decompressed, and overall just growing a big fat ass. Good morning, YouTube. Today we're doing a little early morning leg workout. I'm gonna start off with some back squats, just get things feeling good, not try to go super heavy, and try to just get a lot of reps in. So legs have been feeling good, been growing despite not a huge calorie surplus. Just trying to kind of eat maintenance calories, and any kind of deficit that's created is usually just from the workout itself. So energy-wise, feeling good. Recovery-wise, feeling good. Got a light day today in terms of training clients, but a lot of business things in the works. So excited to be able to drip out some of that information for y'all. Back squats, gonna get some newbie work in today, some ARX work in today, getting in the lab, getting a little scientific. Brought Odin to the gym today. He's just chilling by the fan because he's a lazy little boy. But yeah, let's get it. Getting warmed up. We didn't have a strength and conditioning coach in high school. So when I was a freshman, I would write a lot of the programs for my football team, and I didn't know anything. So all I would have everyone do is just put 2 plates. Yeah, we would just put 2 plates, 225 on the bar, just do 5 sets to failure, as many as you can. So everyone just kind of got real competitive and tried to do more than everybody else. So at the time, being 14, 15 years old, just doing 225 for 5 sets of 20. We still sucked. We still wouldn't win a single game, but got the job done. We were pretty strong. Working up a sweat already. Keeping a lot of the stimulus in the quads. Usually just try to keep it out of the lower back. Set to 15 to 20 right now. We'll go up in weight now. Just focusing on keeping the tension in the right places and really not focusing so much on load to prevent the core thickening, erectors, obliques, widening out so much. Problem I already have with a lot of my powerlifting history. slow negatives, the eccentric loading, can make such a big difference in terms of the intensity. That time under tension, controlling the tempo, controlling the weight all the way down, keeping tension in the quads can make such a big difference, not only in terms of the difficulty of the set and making lighter weights feel harder, but also in terms of how strong you get and how much those muscles are gonna grow. If you're bouncing and just falling down to the bottom and not taking advantage of the eccentric, that's really where all that growth happens. When you're shortening and contracting a muscle, that's really not that much micro trauma. So you're not tearing the muscle apart.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Sucker. Sweating. Papa Molly, I'm sweating. That's all we need right there. Quads, baby. We are rocking the raw nutrition, essential amino acids, and creatine. It's pretty much all I take during the workouts. Every single day this week's been 108 or higher. Welcome to Dallas, Texas. Stop moving here. Keeping the weight on the lighter end, time under tension, slow, controlled both ways. Good morning, how are you? I'm suffering. Suffering, okay. But by choice. Trying to focus on keeping tension in the quads. And sometimes, just especially after squats, the lower back starts cramping a little bit. So keeping the rest as needed, and trying to just burn up these quads, get a lot of blood flow. One of the biggest health, beauty, skin hacks is the towels you use at the gym. Most of the towels you use are super abrasive, will cause scratching, irritation to the skin, underlying inflammation, and you also have to think about what kind of cleaners and detergents and things your gym is likely using. So here at Adapt, we actually have these microfiber, antimicrobial, bacteria fighting, super soft towels that we use. But yeah, I have really bad skin, really prone to irritation, so something I tend to focus on is treating my members like I treat myself, and not wanting to cause skin irritation, wanting to have towels that are non-irritant and good for your skin. You gotta love the skin you're in, especially if you're gonna try and grow some muscle underneath it. One major difference I've also noticed in just moderate weight intensities, keeping intensity really high, bringing the weights down, is just how much attention to detail and contraction I can get in the right muscle. It's just so much easier to think about the muscle contracting and not the joints or other compensations, because the weights are still high or heavy, just modifying the load by keeping tension, being really deliberate about the reps and not worried about grunting through heavier weights. quads are toast, but we're not done with them. Getting not only abduction, but also hip extension to activate the glutes. Not only a great way to activate the glutes, get the glutes stimulated and get them really growing in a more three-dimensional way, also great for decompressing the spine by activating those glutes. So for me, kind of a win-win, especially after back's cramping up from squats. One of the big things to focus on here with this machine, and really any abduction machine, is making sure that we're not lifting our lower back through extension, because really it's just taking away from the distance that the glutes have to travel under load, and releases tension from the glutes, puts it into the lower back. Even for a split second, that can make a huge difference in terms of activation, keeping the spine decompressed, and overall just growing a big fat ass. Like most things, trying to control tempo and time under tension until I can't anymore, and then just kind of repping it out. Supersetting the back extension and the leg curl, allowing for hamstring activation from both different fulcrums. So back extension being a very hip dominant hamstring exercise where the knee is actually not going through any range of motion. And then the opposite with the leg curl, hips ideally staying in place while the knee is the main movement arm. So working on hamstrings kind of in a multifaceted approach, compounding the effects, pros and cons, shoring up any kind of gaps that one exercise might leave from the other, working kind of synergistically. If you have trouble feeling your hamstrings during this exercise, you're probably going too fast, adding too much weight, bending the knees, initiating with the lower back. But if you're doing all the right things and still not feeling it the way you want to, not feeling a deep, intense hamstring pump, do the leg curl, then come over here. Do the leg curl, then come over here. It'll change everything. It'll also raise awareness to the hamstring. So when you do this in the future, you'll kind of remember what you're looking for in terms of sensation and activation. It's one thing crucial to remember is how our muscles are functioning is obviously to maintain tension, they need 2 insertion points. And so to be inserted at 2 points means they need to be activated at both points too. So for example, if you're doing a hamstring exercise and you're only doing knee dominant hamstring exercises, knee flexion, knee flexion, knee flexion, if you're not getting the other component of that hip extension, then you're gonna have gaps. If you don't have a tib bar, like you've seen in some of my other videos, a great way to train the tibialis is just gonna be toe raises. So all you wanna do is lean back against a wall, some sort of hard surface, and then really just high rep, lift those toes. You can do it with bands, weights, things like that. You can get really creative. But if you're doing this at home, which a lot of people should be doing to keep their knees healthy, I don't know how many bodybuilders you've seen with really jacked tib muscles, but I think it's gonna become a thing. It's gonna catch on. It's just like if you always focus on your biceps, your triceps are so much bigger. So to make your arms look bigger, you need to do both. You want big calves, train your tibs too. And you just get to the point where eventually you can't lift your toes off the ground. So that tibialis is getting pretty fatigued. If that's too easy, you can always go single. I can't even get my toes off the ground with a single leg. But then as you rest, take advantage, just flip over. The most important thing when it comes to getting the calves to grow is going to be getting a full stretch in that calf, keeping tension the entire time, and also not rolling out to the outside of your foot when you're pressing through. One way to ensure that I'm getting that deep stretch is a pause at the bottom and pause at the top. And it's kind of how I treat most exercises, is trying to be very deliberate about getting to end ranges, peak contractions, peak extensions with length as much as possible. So trying to get as much mind to muscle connection as I can the entire time, and then trying to just keep tension in the training muscle, the deliberate muscle I'm trying to work. If you've never done calf extension drop sets, one, maybe don't, but two, if you want your calves to grow, give it a try. Calves are such high endurance muscles. You have to hit them with pretty substantial volume, both in weight and in reps. The drop set kind of takes care of both of those. That is a wrap for leg day today. Squats, slow tempo, lighter weight, just got up to 275, I believe. Hit a couple sets there after some super high rep sets at 200 or 225. So little hip press action, hamstrings, glutes, calves. So that is it for today. We are going to probably do some new fit on the arms later today, and I'll show y'all what that's like. But other than that, we out. Bye.